to finish off the stranger.
Mm-hmm.
He says, more abstractly, what the stranger believes, specifically, threatens the integrated structure of historically determined belief in general. So, the reason that the stranger threatens the structure of historically determined belief is because they have a different historically determined belief system.
Right.
Which is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But I thought that was a good way to put it. And then he follows that up with, this does not present a problem when his foreign actions or ideas do not produce fundamental conflict or do not threaten key beliefs. When the basic concepts are threatened, however, the unbearable, terrible unknown once again rises up, and once firm ground begins to give way.
Yeah.
And I think I'd have to do more research about it because I've only read about it a little bit. But I think that that's something that happened quite a bit in Europe.
Okay.
Is with the mass amounts of immigration and stuff like that. It really challenged the idea of who they were, like who these countries are. Especially, I think, when they were more than willing to accommodate those people and change their own beliefs.
Yeah.
Without recognizing what that would mean for them.
Right. And like that's just why when you go to a different country, you just got to accept that you decided to go to a different country. And trying to uproot that country is 100% contradicting the very reason you chose to go to that country, which is, I would argue, just straight hypocrisy from your behalf. Like, there's no other way to look at that. There isn't like a nice way to put that.
Well, and I mean, even if you said you were going to another country to seek safety and asylum, you're going to that country because they are different and offer that safety and asylum.
That your country did not.
Right.
So why would you try to uproot the values of that country and change it to something more familiar to you?
Right. And to be fair, the difficult thing with that is, just like the country you're going to has its own set of beliefs, you also do.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that you shouldn't try to fit into the country that you're going to, but it is extremely difficult to make some of those fundamental changes in yourself.
But so now you're in a game of weighing the pros and cons, and do you want to go to this country? Do you want to seek safety and asylum for the exchange of changing some of your ideals, or just accepting that there's going to be very large discrepancies in your life from now on? But like, you know, life-threatening situations versus safety and asylum, but you're giving up that people agree with you to get safety.
Yeah.
But if you don't like that so much, then live in the unsafe environment. Like, that's a free choice that you have as an individual. Like, the point of the United States is that we have birthrights. And those birthrights come from God. The United States, the entire thing was founded on Christian values. There's a quote from a founding father that I'm paraphrasing, but it says that this country is founded on Christian values. And if the country strays from those Christian values, it will fall apart, because the whole premise is that we have birthrights. It's not that we deserve them or they're privileges. No, they're actual rights from God, from Christ, and that he died for those rights. So if you don't believe that you have those, then you're going to disagree with the foundation of the United States. And then you need to accept one of two things. One, you shouldn't live in the United States. Or two, that people are just going to disagree with you. And it's not your place to change that, because you're uprooting the foundation of a country, that's not the point. The point of the country's founding was because it was different than another country. Because if it was the same, you just merge countries. Or it is just the same country, you know?
What's interesting is a lot of or at least some of the founding fathers at the time were theists. So they believed in a God.
Oh, okay.
But not necessarily the Christian God, but
Interesting.
They did still heavily rely on those principles.
Yeah.
And that's because they came right after the Enlightenment.
Right.
The tail end of that, which, you know, the point of the Enlightenment was to take the morals that Christianity offered and sever them from God. And I think
that's silly.
That was kind of, I mean, that's where a lot of the natural rights stuff comes from, is just that everyone has these rights, but that idea was originally Christian.
Yep.
That you're just born with rights. But I don't know, it's really interesting. But at the very least, they were theist.
Interesting.
So they believed in a God.
Hmm.
And I know that I don't want to get it wrong, but maybe it was Thomas Jefferson had like a Bible
Mm-hmm.
that he kept with him at all times or something. So there's definitely they were religious.
Yeah.
There's religious roots to the country.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to be religious now, you can't, as we will learn in later episodes, you can't remove Christianity without drastic consequences. Hey, I got another quote for you. Listener likes, comments, and subscribes down below. And if you understood any of my word salad, go ahead and click the link below for a full video and a 5-course meal. Thanks for watching.